are back with Hany. Hany, thank you. We won't talk about your birthday. It is your bobblehead night this weekend, and team's coming off a win. You're coming off a goal. Team's had good success against Montreal. You've had good success against Montreal. How's training gone so far this week, and what are you expecting on Saturday night?
Yeah, it's a good atmosphere right now. I think the boys they look good, and we try to keep it up. Try to be as the best we can, and next game is against Montreal. Good opponent, very young team. They have a lot of qualities. I watched the game, and I think they didn't get the result yet, but they have a good team, and we have respect for them. But also we know what we're about, and we need to stick to the plan, and have our match game or match plan, try to get 3 points at home.
Thank you. We'll start with Ben, and again, go ahead and ask you if you have them.
Hany, in the past you've talked just about wanting to play more with the ball and being maybe a little bit more aggressive. Just looking at the season and how you guys have done so far, do you feel like that's happening, and how has that been to play in?
Yeah, I think we can see slowly that we are going into the right direction. I think we have played the way for a very long time, and I think now with the new additions we got very good players. They make us stronger, and they make us also feel comfortable in the way we want to play, being more aggressive, being more on the front foot, not being reckless, but picking our moments in the press, or also at home trying to keep the ball and creating chances, and being a team more with the ball.
And then I wanted to ask about last game, the penalty kick. Obviously after not scoring against Portland, it didn't seem like there was any confidence issues with the way you finished that. Just how did you feel taking the penalty, and what about all the hot dogs that were thrown?
Yeah, I mean, Philly fans are rough. Coming from Germany, it's what you most likely get on every away game. But I like it. It gives you the extra motivation. Blake is one of the best goalkeeper, and that was. I knew it before the game, and yeah.
Bob?
So Hany, you getting a bobblehead this week. What's that feel like? What's it going to look like when all these guys up in the stands looking at these bobbleheads of Hany?
It's cool. Actually, it looks very similar to me. So I honestly like it. It's pretty cool. I will talk to my wife to have it somewhere in the house. We will see.
Julian?
Are you starting to kind of see what the culture that BJ's wanting to build here, and what are the telltale signs of that? I know it's early, but what are some of the signs that you guys are heading in that right direction, you would say?
Yeah, I think when he came in, he was very clear about the way how he wants to play. I think for us players, we knew that if we want to make the next step, we also have to get better with the ball, being at home, especially more aggressive. I think now looking back, how we started against New England, we weren't that aggressive, and we talked about it internally, and we made our adjustments. And then our second home game against Portland, we were very aggressive. We created 22 shots. I think that is something we can build on. And it's very early in the season. We all know that there's still 30 more games to go, and we have a lot to improve. That's the good part. We are getting results, but also we know that we have to make strides, and we have to get better in the things we want to do to achieve our goals.
Obviously, so much of the preseason was spent you and Eddie building a rapport with him, kind of flanking you to the right, and then he drops a little bit deeper. You have Ahmed come in starting the last two games. It's showing up obviously on the score sheet, but what has that process been like of getting to know Ahmed, who's a very different player, different skill set, and how do you feel that's gone through two games? What are some of the differences as well?
I think first of all we have to say we did very good additions for this season. Ahmed, a very talented player, young player. I really like him. I try to help him, to give him my experience, because I know how it is coming from Europe to America. It can be overwhelming maybe, and I think we have to do our job to help him, to make sure that he's in a safe space, and it's okay to have bad games, but so far he has amazing games and he's doing well, but also knowing that we're here for him, and we're making sure that he can show his full potential. And Eddie is he has something special. He's so aggressive against the ball, but also very talented between the lines and with the ball. And I think both of them give us a lot. We have a lot of good players. There could be many more names, but I think these two have showed in the beginning of the season that they are really good for this team.
What do you find that's different about playing with Ahmed over there as opposed to Eddie?
Of course, Ahmed is a guy who can take players on and goes into the space. Eddie is more line breaking player. He can receive it. He's very aware of what is around him. Very different player, but I think for us it's the best that both are on the field. The position is not that important. I think Eddie in the middle, I really like him as a 6. I think he gives us, especially when we lose the ball, he wants to do the pressure and he puts the work in. He has the legs, he can run forever. So two good players.
Well,
Hany, you mentioned this team, the ability to take that next step and continue to improve based on these past couple of weeks that have been great performances. How does this team hit that next level? What do you want to see that can be improved upon still for you guys?
I think for me, we know how we want to play, and even when you have bad games, that you can still see the plan, that you can still see what is Nashville about, and I think that's where we have to go, and we show that now. We want to play with the ball. We are better with the ball. We try build up. I got so many calls from my friends. They're like, "Hey, guys are not kicking the ball long, in pressure moments." So people already can see. It takes time. It takes also trust and understanding of each other, and we're trying to train that every day. But in the end of the day, good game, bad game, we need to see that this is Nashville, this is how we want to play, this is our club's philosophy, this is coach's philosophy, players' philosophy, and that's where we can make the next step, being all on one line. And then you see that with LA Galaxy last year. I mean, doesn't matter if they won or not, everyone knew how they want to play, or Columbus, and these teams, and that's where we want to go.
BJ talked a minute ago about how they want to be a coaching staff that has hard decisions to make and have competition for places. How has the competition level started to go up as guys get healthy, as Brugman comes back, Schaffelberg over the weekend, and just what kind of competitive atmosphere are you seeing out there at training every day right now?
I mean, we all know that this season is so long, most of the time the players who play the first game are not the one who finished the season, and during the season you will have injuries, you will have international duty, so many things, and I think you need to have competition in the team. You need to have players who can come in and replace players, and that should be a strength of ours. If we get everyone healthy, and then we have a good squad, and it's good for the team. In the end of the day, when we compete every day in training, we bring the level up. We develop younger players. They can reach the next level, and we all have fruits from that.
Ross?
Hany, with the midfield, the way things have gone seems a little bit more narrow than what it used to be. How have you had to adjust? What differences do you have coming in this year, given the midfield and how it's set up around you?
Yeah, I mean, of course, with the ball, it's tight because everyone knows now we want to go through the middle, and that's our primary, option. But I think what is very good for us, and we see that when we lose the ball, we are so close to where the action is, and I think there has to be always understanding. And I like the system. I think it's great. We have the right players for the system. And I think we could see that over the last 4 or 5 games that if we play it right, we can create a lot of problems for the opponents.
I know a lot of people want to talk about the relationship with you and Sam, and we're seeing it with Sam drifting maybe a little bit more to the left. What have you seen and how that's evolved, and the different positions you two take up and how you can use that to your advantage?
Yeah, I mean, Sam was, when he came to us, he likes to drift out to the left side, and not being just the focal point, being a modern number 9, or I don't know how to call it. And I think the system allows him that, and I think that was a good thing from the coaching staff to see what are the qualities of the players we have here. How can we make them shine the best? And I think we see that slowly. It takes time. It's a long season, but I think if we continue that way, we see the best out of Sam, out of me, out of Eddie, out of Ahmed, and there are a lot of players who can make differences, and I think that is what a good team needs. We saw that with LA Galaxy last year. They had 4 or 5 players who can make the difference in every single game, and if we can create that for this team this year, we could be very dangerous.
And just on the penalty at Philly, in the build-up to the game, had there been any discussion about whether if you got a penalty that you would take it? And when you got the penalty, had you set in your mind what you were going to do in advance, or was it something, the way you ultimately scored it, was it something that you came up with then, or that you were always going to do?
To be honest, we didn't talk about penalties. We talked about the setup when someone shoots, because our setup wasn't the right, but we didn't talk about who shoots. I think my favorite player is Zidane, and Zidane has missed PK, so that's part of the game. I know it's hard, and it's there's no doubt about it that you lose a little bit confidence about it, but that happened. That's part of the game, and you need to build up yourself. And next one, you need to have that mindset. You score anyway, and there's always noise. This is the beauty of this game also, because everyone has opinions, and I think you just have to consider what you can influence.
We'll go to Jacob on Zoom, and then Valet.
Yeah, Hany, in the past, obviously you've taken so much of the goal scoring load for this team. In fact, do you feel like there's been maybe a bit less pressure on you this year, just with Ahmed coming in, Eddie, and even midfield and even defenders, creating goal scoring opportunities for long passes?
Yeah, I think in general it's always healthy and good for a team if you have multiple people on the field who can decide a game, who can score a goal. Of course, in the end of the day, it takes a little bit attention away from me, but this is also credit to the team that we can score goals without me. I will score my goals. I will continue work hard and do my best and just try to get better. It's a long season. It's just the start. So
Do you feel like defenses maybe do you feel like defenses are approaching you individually differently in BJ's system, or is that maybe not the case? And if there are maybe a lot of differences in the way defenses are approaching you in BJ's system, I guess what are the biggest differences?
I mean, I don't know if they approach me differently, but the position I'm in is a position I really like, so that helps, of course. I mean, the whole league knows me now. It's not like a secret who I am in the league. So most of the defender knows what I like to do, and I always try to, bring new things to my game, and I have to develop, it's early in the season, and I have a lot of big goals. So we will see.
Go ahead, Valet.
And just speaking on that, Hany, in terms of your position, can you you've played in so many different roles for this team. So can you just describe, your position, I guess, currently in this system?
Yeah, so I, try to be in between. I think the striker and the midfield. I have the freedom to drop, but also can stay high. So I'm not like just like a midfielder who comes to the ball all the time. I like also to receive the ball in the space. Sometimes in the right moments, and I think I can do that in this system. So I like it because I think it's very hard for a defense if it's easy for a defense if like an attacker or someone always comes to the ball because you always defend in front of him. But if like a player can go behind you and in front of you, it makes it more unpredictable.
And then I know you've observed Ramadan every year. You've been with Nashville SC. How important is that for you to do it again this year? And how challenging is it as well? Doing it year after year and being able to play games and practice while fasting.
It's for us Muslims, it's a very beautiful month. It's a special month. We are not only fasting from food and drinks. I know That's the main part, but that's actually just a small part of it. It's also to reconnect and fuel also your heart, and you can also get energy in a different way. Maybe you don't eat and drink, but the love, you fill your heart again, and we are all so busy during the year, 11 months. It is you have so many distractions, and it's always easy to find excuses. But this beautiful month forces us to reconnect and level yourself and realize that you need to be disciplined, and
Thank you, Hany. Thank you, guys. We'll see you Saturday for bobblehead night.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Who wants the bobblehead? That's the question.